Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Today, we're going to be talking about sanding sticks and how to make them. Where are my legs? Alright, so before we get started, let's go over what you'll need to follow along. First off, to make sandpaper sticks, you're gonna need sandpaper. What grits? I am using 80, 150, 220, 320. Now, I mean, obviously you can make whatever grits you need, but these are the grits that I need. Alright, the other ingredient you need for sandpaper sticks are the sticks. Now, I have these two different size craft sticks. I mean, you can get them from any craft store. And then we also have these stirring sticks for like painting. You can get at any like hardware store or paint store. Alright, so we got those main ingredients. To stick them together, we're gonna need some spray adhesive. Now, I use Super 77. I have two different versions of Super 77. This one right here, which I don't end up using because it doesn't seem to be as strong as this one right here. And of course, strength is what we're going for. Alright, to cut it out, you're going to need some kind of a X-Acto blade or something like that. Now, it's probably going to be best if you use some kind of cutting mat to cut these out. And one thing you might need is some masking tape. Another thing you might need is a straight edge. And that's pretty much all you need. So first thing I'm going to do is go through all the different types of sticks that I have and choose the straightest ones and the nicest looking ones. They can bow at pretty significant angles, and not just lengthwise, but widthwise as well. So now we're going to get to work making the smallest sticks. And how I did that is I actually took a straight edge and an X-Acto, and I just trimmed off, I don't know, probably about a 1/4 inch. And then from there, I split it right in half. You don't have to dig through the entire thing in one go. It's probably smarter not to, but you can score it a bunch of times and then eventually just snap it in two. And then I just chop off the rounded ends. Now I want to make some handles for these larger sticks. So I just use some masking tape and wrap it around the actual handle. From there, I pre-cut all the sandpaper. No sense wasting a whole bunch. So I just arrange the sticks from one end and then cut off the excess. And then I just do that for the rest of the sheets. You'll find the lower the grit, the harder it's gonna be to cut through. Alright, from there I arrange everything out on the table. I take my Super 77 spray adhesive and I just coat everything. Alright, and I wait a couple minutes, make sure it's tacky. One thing you can do is, if you have gloves on, you can stick your finger down, and if it's tacky and the glue comes up and attaches to your finger, it's not ready to go. However, if you put your finger on it and it's tacky and it stays on the sandpaper, then you're ready to go. What you do is you take both sides and you just stick them together. Make sure you're doing it on the right side, the one that has the glue on it, and you just press down and make sure everything is just nice and glued on. Now here I am on a new surface because, yeah, that table had glue all over it. Who would have thought? Then I just repeat the process of sticking everything down. From there, I make sure everything's stuck down by taking a 1, 2, 3 block or a machinist block and just kind of sliding it across the surface, pressing down firmly. Again, you want to make sure that every bit of that is contacting, so it's going to be stuck together. And while I'm waiting for them to dry, I just mark each one with what grit it's going to be. And then after it's dried, I'm just going to separate each piece. It's just going to make it a lot easier to work with. All right, now we just start cutting as close to the edge as we possibly can. Full disclosure, this will destroy your X-Acto blades, obviously. I mean, you're cutting through something that's meant to remove material. You can either keep switching up your blades pretty much for every stick that you make, or you can just kind of push through it. I kind of pushed through it. All right, so I cut out the big one here, and there's still this little tab that is going over the masking tape, and we're just going to cut that little piece off. And then from there, we can just remove the masking tape. And I just work my way around all the sticks. And yes, this is going to hurt your hand. Okay, so after I've cut every one of them out, I take a little bit of 150 grit sandpaper and I go over the edges. Now it's best to do the kind of through the edge going downwards. What this is actually doing is kind of making sure that anything that's kind of sticking over it could catch and remove itself from the stick is removed. And it's also kind of almost fusing it to the wood. This will just ensure that your sticks will last longer and that everything will stay glued down. You know, it's funny, I actually got this technique from back in the day when I was a skateboarder, and every time I would get a new skateboard, I'd watch the people at the shop put the grip tape on. I was always curious about how they took the grip tape that they already cut off the board and used that to sand down the edges. It makes sense. I mean, what is a skateboard besides a sanding stick on wheels? All right, so once you sanded those down, I mean, that's it. You got your sanding sticks. These things come in handy so much. I use them all the time. That's why I'm always making new ones. All right, that's it. Pretty simple video. If you found that useful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the bell thing, you know, all that stuff, whatever. You know. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.